Everyone, welcome to The Zest, the official podcast of Orange Coast Magazine. I'm Chelsea Ranieri, and today's guest is the founder of Chronic Tacos, which is a chain of fast casual Mexican restaurants. Thank you so much for being here today, Randy Wyner.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Of course, me too. I've been going to Chronic Tacos for what feels like my whole life. The one in Huntington Beach on 11th Street was like the one I used to go to as a kid. Now I'm in Irvine. We have one down the street. I eat there like a lot, like a lot.
Good. I love to hear that. Well, thank you. We appreciate that.
Of course. Yeah. So you grew up in Orange, is that right?
I did. I grew up in the city of Orange. And I think when I was about 18, I moved to Newport Beach.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So what were you like as a kid? What were you like growing up? Were you a big into cooking or?
Actually, I got a funny story. When I was 9 years old, I set up my mom left the house for a little bit and she just went grocery shopping, and I set up a kitchen on my driveway. And I put tables and chairs from the house, and I cooked up everything in the refrigerator. Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, noodles, macaroni and cheese. And my mom came home when I finished, and I had a bag full of change. And I'm like, "Mom, look, I made us money." And she's like, it was like $10. And she's like, $100 for the groceries. But I think I always had kind of the entrepreneurial mindset, always wanted to do something as a young age. And, but I always remember back when I was like 9 or 10 years old doing a restaurant on the driveway for the neighbors.
That's so cute. How fortuitous.
Maybe that influenced me to get into the restaurant business.
Yeah. So in 2002, you co-founded Chronic Tacos with your friend Daniel. So how did this idea come about?
Yeah. So we were both living in Newport Beach, and we came from Orange. And in Orange, like my mom was a school teacher in Santa Ana. So I was really used to authentic taquerias, and we had taquerias on every corner. And when we moved to Newport, there wasn't a good taqueria. And actually, there was a place on 32nd Street that I would ride my bike to, but the tortillas were not that great. And I remember telling the guys, there was two owners, saying, "Hey man, your tortillas are not that great. Like, can I get some fresh ones?" And they got really mad at me. And I was like, "I'm going to open up my own taco shop." But we were living in Newport, and this little spot came available that was multiple. It was never a restaurant. It was a water store, a retail store. It was all these different things. And I'm like, "There's no good taco shop. So let's take what we grew up with, bring it out here." Fortunately, I had a good friend who was one of the original partners that we bought out. He had all the grandma's recipes, heavy in the Mexican industry. They owned a meat company. And so we got all these recipes, and we came in together and opened our first store in 2002 in Newport. And it's been there like 22 years now.
Wait, I'm like blanking. Oh, the one in, oh my God. Yeah, that one.
And, we wanted good Mexican food, and we had no idea what we were doing. We were, a couple white guys and a Mexican dude, and we were just like, let's do it. And I had a company called Chronic Industries. It was a clothing brand. We were licensee for Disney and Mattel. And, we were based in Newport. So everyone kind of knew Chronic and being in the neighborhood. So we're like, let's just call it Chronic Tacos. And it's funny because my first son, his mom's name is Chronic, their last name. My son's Jacob Chronic. My last name's Wyner, and we were never married. So when at school, his name was Jacob Chronic Wyner. And so he ended up changing it just to Chronic. But, that was kind of an inspiration too when we started the Chronic and Chronic Tacos and, other things too. We like to engage. But so it was just really, we wanted good Mexican food, and we didn't know what we were doing. It took us 15 months to build it. And now we build them in, 90 to 120 days.
Whoa.
But, that's, some challenges we had when we were getting started with our first taco shop.
Yeah. What were some of the challenges that you had to overcome?
Construction was the biggest in the beginning. The finding people that knew what they were doing. When we first opened our first taco shop, like you had every friend come over and say, "Hey, I'm a great plumber." We're like, "Okay, cool." Something wrong. And we're like, "Dude, what?" We had to bring in another plumber. So we went through like 2 plumbers, 2 electricians, 2 different guys did our plans. It was a learning curve. And it literally took us 15 months to build something that should have taken 3 to 4 months. But, it was construction was really hard in the beginning, not knowing, the right contractors and just trusting people. But that was a challenge. Getting the food was good. The recipes, because we had a partner that was heavy in the industry. So we learned a lot from that. But when we opened up our second store in Huntington 2 years later, it only took us 4 months. So we learned from it.
Yeah.
And then getting, a challenge was getting people to try it. It was like people watched us for over a year and they're like, who are these guys doing chronic tacos? And, at the time, chronic was, like a bad word almost. It's
right.
so different now, where people didn't understand it. And we just knew once they tried it, they would like it. And that happened, but it was very slow in the beginning. People would just trickle in and try it. And then we got really, we were right at the beach. So a lot of the surfer kids, everyone was coming in there getting, breakfast burritos. And you could see it start picking up momentum and building. And then about 8 months in, we got written up in a newspaper, the Daily Pilot or something. And we got written up. And the next day it was packed. I'm talking like lines wrapped around. We were like, what the heck is going on here?
No way.
It was night and day. It was within a day, it changed everything. And from that day on, it was packed, like just so big. People were driving from LA to come to.
Whoa. Were you emotional seeing that? I feel like I would be so emotional seeing like all the success. It
was crazy. Yeah, it was unbelievable. I had other businesses and then I'm like, I'm dumping everything. I'm going to do tacos. Like, let's take it for a ride. I had, big visions and dreams, and I wanted Chronic to be a household name where families were going, let's go to Chronic Tacos. Because, when we first opened, Chronic was like, ooh, like, what are you putting in the tacos? And it was very, like, we were kind of like punk rock, like different. It was
yeah, totally.
We always talked about being the edgy taco shop, like different than all the corporate stuff. And it was scary at first, but if you have good food, good service, and the place is clean, people are going to come back. And that was our big thing, was we kept our food top and people loved it. Everyone came back and it got really big.
Yeah. And at the time, I mean, other than like taquerias, I didn't really remember any other restaurant at the time that was doing where you walk up and you pick out the meat and the rice and the beans and all that right in front of you. You guys were way before Chipotle, right? Way before.
Right before Chipotle. Chipotle was around, but they were like up Colorado and they were just coming down. So when we started, there wasn't a Chipotle around us yet, but they were coming. And they had the same, walk the line, make it how you like it. And that's I'm a picky eater, so I always want to be able to tell you what I want in it.
Yeah.
So that was really important for our model, was to be able to make it how you like it. And then Chipotle came. Which we're next to Chipotle's all the time. We're so different than Chipotle.
It really, honestly, I like Chronic Tacos so much better. The meat and the quality is just better to me.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and Chipotle is a big dog, So to go in when we open a store and there's a Chipotle, we're like, it's okay. We'll get 20% of their business, and they've got their diehards that love their stuff, and then you got Chronic Taco guys and. People love going to Chronic Tacos, and our menu's bigger. We have fish and shrimp and breakfast.
True.
It's a little. We try to keep it different. We don't want to be like Chipotle.
Yeah. Can you take me back to that first moment though of walking into that first restaurant and finally seeing your creation coming to life and people eating your food? Like, what did that feel like?
It's addicting. It's the best feeling. Yeah. That was one of the biggest reasons was to bring good food and joy. Like, people would laugh and love it. And I'd see customers 3 to 4 days a week eating Mexican food, eating our tacos, Chronic Tacos. So it was like really cool. I know, you might go get a sandwich once or twice a week. You have your routines of what you're going to eat. And with a Mexican food, you can get breakfast burrito, you can get, burritos, you can get fish tacos. So
yeah,
customers always coming in daily. It was really cool. And that it was, it's what kept me going. It really inspired me to keep, franchising and get going all over the place, all over the world and bringing tacos because of the joy. It's the best feeling in the world. Like when, we opened in Japan, they didn't know what tacos. Tacos wasn't a thing. You had to teach them how to eat a taco, and they loved it. It was so cool. It was just it's the best feeling. It's better than financial money, whatever. It's just a good feeling when people are happy and when you run into people and they're like, oh my gosh, Chronic Tacos. I love Chronic Tacos. My kids eat there every day, and it's really cool. It's the best.
Yeah. Wait. So the one in Japan, is it the exact same like as any other chronic taco here? No way.
It's pretty much identical. I mean, we spec'd everything out. We did a lot of time out there, but in Canada too. We're in Canada, and same thing. We were in Canada before Chipotle hit Canada, and there wasn't a lot of competition. Now there's a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot of competition out there. You have to stay on top of everything. You've really got to evolve in Mexican food has to evolve, and you don't want to get old.
Yeah.
Keep it going. But yeah, no, sorry, go ahead.
No, you can.
We have to stay on top of it, and going to the stores, being a part of the stores. We franchise. So
yes, I want to ask, how did you come up with how did you get to the point of wanting to franchise it? I would feel like I have OCD. I feel like I'd be very particular. Like it's not exactly the exact same what I wanted. Like,
yeah, no, I'm OCD too, and it's we wanted to grow, and in 06 is when we started franchising. We started in 02, and people were calling us asking to open up taco shops, and so we partnered with a couple of people, and then I'm like, what are we going to partner with everybody that calls us to open up a taco shop? So we're like, oh, what's this thing called franchising? And we had no idea, really. I just heard about franchising from like McDonald's. And,
right.
We talked to some people that were in franchising and then some attorneys and figured out this could be a good way to expand and grow and get our food out there. And so we started franchising in 06. And it's been awesome. Franchising is cool. It's a great way to expand your brand. We've got really good franchise partners. And, now, like you said, with OCD, I'm in stores all week. Like that's what I do. I am in the stores. I do, quality checks and making sure that the atmosphere is right. And, I train. I still go and make tacos. I was in Redondo Beach this week, and then so, I just go and do our rounds, and we have our trainers and our inspectors that go into the stores, and, it's communication. It's constantly just making sure that they're following the brand rules and making sure that they're not making, burgers in the back. And
right.
But we've got really good franchise partners, and, we just opened another one in Redondo. I got another one. We're opening up in Beverly Hills, and we're working on one up in like Walnut Creek area, Pleasanton. Up north.
Nice. How many do you have?
We're over 30 right now.
Oh, wow.
And, we're excited to, next year, I think we're going to open up quite a bit more. We're on a good roll right now. I like it. It's good.
Nice. How did Japan come about?
A guy just hit us up. They actually wanted to do a Chipotle, and Chipotle doesn't franchise, so we were next in line, which we'll take it. And it was really cool. They flew out. It was through like a broker, and they flew a whole entourage out. And we took them for the tour. I was with them for days. Took them to Angel Stadium. We got restaurants at Angel Stadium, and they're really big into baseball. And so we just took them to all the taco shops. They love the food. And then we just had to put it to paper and figure out how to, make it work and get all the specs right, because we didn't want to do different stuff. It needed to be very, identical. So it took a good year to dial everything in, and we were flying out, and we were there when we opened. I was there when we opened the stores. We did training, and it was cool. Like they were so nice. They would. They had translators for us. They pick us up in Rolls Royces. Like it was
what?
It was really cool. They're rad.
What a cool experience.
It was funny when my first time flying out there, I was eating an M&M, and I'm on the flight, and my tooth broke. And I was like freaking out. My business partner, Mike, is sleeping next, in his whatever box. And I'm staring over the wall, looking at him at the plane, because my tooth is broken, and I'm like freaking out because I'm going to Japan to work, and I have a shattered tooth from an M&M. And he wakes up, and I'm staring at him. He's like, "What's wrong?" I'm like, "My tooth, it's shattered. And, I don't know what I'm going to do. It's sharp." And
ouch.
We sent an email. We had a car ready right when we landed. They took me straight to the dentist.
Oh my God.
Through this lobby. I landed, went straight to a dentist, didn't even sit in a waiting room, walked right through, got into a chair. He filed it down, fixed it. Cost me $30.
$30.
$30. I was like,
Oh
what?
my
Oh, I love Japan. This is
Yeah,
awesome.
I'm going in March. I cannot wait.
Oh, it's the coolest, the nicest people. It's so fun. The food is so good. It's amazing. I mean, it is one of the coolest countries I've ever been to. It's so cool. It was
Wait,
really exciting, really nice.
also speaking of Japan, Kobayashi came to Chronic Tacos, right, for an eating contest?
Yeah, yeah. So we teamed up. We partnered with like a collab with Gringo Bandito, and Gringo
Okay.
Bandito is owned by the singer to Offspring. His name's Dexter, good friend of mine, and we've always carried Gringo Bandito hot sauce from day one. He was
It's
there for
so
us.
good.
It's amazing. I love it, and
Yeah.
he's a great guy. And so he, was promoting the hot sauce, and we were always carried his hot sauce. So we just all said, hey, and he was good friends with Kobayashi. So he's like, let's do a taco eating contest, sponsored by Chronic Tacos and Gringo Bandito with Kobayashi. And we're like, we're in. So we started like small. We started, at taco shops, just doing it. And we had some big ones, and, we did it every year for years. And then Dexter was doing a Sabroso down in Dana Point, a huge festival in Dana Point. And he's like, dude, we're doing it. Staged 15,000 people. It was nuts. And we did this awesome taco eating contest. I mean, we had it so pro. After years of doing it, you get so experienced in the taco eating world, and paramedics and ever judges. And it was just super pro. And, I think the winner won like 5,000. I think Kobayashi got an appearance. He got paid appearance fees, and then he always won. But, there was some serious money that they won, and it was awesome. It was really fun. It was really fun.
How many tacos did they eat?
I think Kobayashi would do like 140.
Oh my! And how long?
10 minutes.
Dang! Oh my god! Wait, so how was the taco set up? Because how they do the hot dogs? It's like the bun and the hot dogs like separate.
Yeah. So you would do trays. So we would have trays of tacos, 10 per tray. So we had trays ready to go. So every person in the contest, every eater would have somebody designated handing you putting trays in front of them. And at the end, you would count the trays, and then you would weigh whatever's left on the trays.
Oh,
and they were 10 packs. And then there was a girl just flipping over, 10 done, 10 done, 10 done, 10 done. Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. Went through a lot of tacos, but they can eat.
Wait, so how did you get?
It's nuts.
Yeah, I literally can't imagine. I watched the most recent eating contest that he did. It's kind of hard to watch.
Yeah, it's gross, but
yeah, it is. Wait, so how did you get connected with Gringo Bandito? Like, how did you guys become friends?
That's funny. So when we opened our first taco shop, somebody would drop off. It wasn't Dexter; it was one of his people. But somebody would drop off hot sauce, and I'm like, "What is this?" We don't. No one's ever sent me a bill. And they were just dropping off cases of hot sauce, and we would put them out. And it was we would have Gringo Bandito and maybe Tapatio or something, and this hot sauce kept on getting dropped off, and I was like, "This is awesome! Like, that's so cool that someone's just giving us free hot sauce." So one day I'm gonna get a call. So like a year goes by, and I get a call from Dexter, and he's like, "Hey, Randy, this is Dexter. My hot sauce. You guys have been carrying it. I've been hooking you up. I'd love to work together and actually get paid." And I'm like, "All right, yeah, let me think about it." And then people were asking for it. So all these customers started asking for it. So I called them. I'm like, "Hey, get that hot sauce over here. I need it." Everyone's addicted to it. And I love the stuff. It's great.
Me too. I think the first time I tried it was at Chronic Tacos, literally the one on 11th Street.
Yeah, we've had it forever, and we love it. I mean, they're a great company, good dude, and we've done a lot together. And it's one of my favorite. It is my favorite hot sauce. But he was just hooking us up, and then all of a sudden he's like, "Hey, gonna have to send you a bill, bro."
That's a really smart business move, though, too.
Oh, I told him, I'm like, "That's genius. You got everyone hooked on it." And you know what?
Yeah.
I'm stoked we did it, and we're good friends, and it's a good partnership.
That's awesome. So how has Chronic Tacos grown or changed from what it was when you first opened to now?
Oh, wow. So, we are, We like to say we're like not corporate, but we have a really good corporate background and structure. Like we have a lot of smart people. I'm not one of them behind the scenes, but I think the biggest thing for us was making sure that we just keep consistency and not go cheap. When you start growing or when you see brands start growing, they start, wanting better, costs, obviously food costs and stuff. So they start buying not as good of products, lesser product and cheaper meats or whatever. And we didn't change that. We kept it, at the highest quality that we thought we could, provide. And, when you start growing, and we started growing really fast, and we had to have a good team, good manuals, good videos, good trainers. It was a big, big task to franchise. And, you get people that sometimes aren't in the restaurant world. They're just business people and they want to get into the restaurant business. And, that's where we come in, and I coach and tell them like, hey, this is what it's like. A restaurant business isn't just, sitting a margarita out on the beach and it runs itself. You got to be in it. You got to, when you're there, you'll make more money. And it's important also, I wanted franchisees to be the face of their taco shop in their town. So I always, locally owned, and they're in there to support, and they know, I've got franchisees, they know all their customers, they're in there daily. And it's so important to be involved daily in your business, no matter what you do, especially in restaurants. But just evolving and changing and getting the systems in places, and even like I was talking about the construction side of it, and the design teams, the layouts, the negotiations with landlords, demographics, knowing what a location's going to be good. A location is key to everything. If you got not a good location, you're not going to have foot traffic. You're not going to have people coming in. So analyzing the markets and knowing, where are the people growing, what are the incomes, how many people are within a mile, how many people are within 2 miles, just learning all that, you've learned it from experience, and, or you have a mentor that can teach you stuff. And, but it was a lot of trial and error. We were not restaurant guys in the beginning, and now we're 22 years in, and people are calling me all the time, like, hey, what do I do? How do I do this? I want to open up a burger shop. And so it's cool. But yeah, it's evolved, and Chronic Tacos is now kind of like a household name, and especially in Orange County. But we got stores back east, or in Florida and Alabama and Atlanta, and so it's been fun. It's been a cool ride. I love it, and I still hear every day people are like, "We love your tacos." So,
yeah.
Right.
That's so cool. Wait. Also, are you guys connected with Wyner somehow too?
Yeah, Wyner's our partner. He's one of my best buds, and he's been with I've 15 years, 14 years now. But yeah, he's a partner. He comes to the office. We hang out and go to events, and when taco shops open, we go and hang out. And yeah, he's a great partner. Good dude.
That's awesome. This is going to sound like a lie, but he lives in my old apartment.
No way. In Costa Mesa?
Yes. My husband and I, it was like during the pandemic, and we hear a knock on the door, and we go and we were like, who the heck is there? And it was Wyner. We were like, what? And he's friends with our neighbor that was a couple doors down
Eric.
by him. Yeah, exactly. And so then we like gave him a tour, and I was like, I asked my husband, I was like, should I ask for a photo? And he's like, no, be cool. So we have like just our Ring camera footage, but I was like, what are the odds? Yeah. He's so nice.
Oh, super cool guy. He actually just moved out of your apartment not too long ago. He's
no way.
He's in Newport now.
Okay, cool.
Not too upgraded. Very close. He upgraded, but he loved it there. He's
it's a great
that's a cool spot. We hang out there all the time.
No,
yeah, it's fun. It's a small world.
Yeah. So you've been in my old apartment.
Yeah, I have.
Oh, funny. Cool. Wait, so what is your Chronic Taco order when you go in? Like, what is your go-to?
So I always get a carne asada taco on corn. I do cheese, onion, cilantro, and then I'll pick what sauce I want on it. I always get a beer batter fish taco, Baja style, on flour. And then I always have to have an El Pastor taco. I love the El Pastor. And I'll switch up the El Pastor and the carnitas. But, like yesterday I had a chicken taco, so I kind of switch it up. But my go-to is carne asada, El Pastor, and then I pick carnitas or El Pastor.
Sorry. Oh, that sounds so good.
Yeah, no,
Are there secret menu items by chance?
we actually used to have like secret hot sauces, and now we put them up. But we would have
Cool.
like a Diablo sauce and some hot sauces that we would make that no one would know about, and people just that have seen it. But we'll make anything. Like we're always if people come in and be like, "Oh, can I get egg whites?" We're like, "Sure."
Yeah.
But yeah, the hot sauces were kind of our secret little off menu.
That's so cool. And you guys do a lot of charity work, like with Eco Warrior. Can you talk a bit about that?
Yeah. So, I mean, Eco Warrior is awesome. We're from the beach. I've been in Newport for a long time, and it's really important keeping the beaches clean. And so we would have all our team and partner up and just get out there and clean and make sure the beaches are clean. But Eco Warrior is awesome. They're really cool to work with. We've done a really, really cool stuff with that. But we like stuff like even No Kid Hungry and anything that we can wrap, that can help in the community. We're down, and we love doing stuff like that. It's so important to us.
Definitely. And have you guys implemented any sustainable practices that you want to mention?
Yeah, there's a lot of things that, we do as far as like the paper products now. And, you got different straws and different forks. And, in Redondo, you can't have plastic on them. So, I mean, we do whatever we feel that we can. But yeah, it's very important, the environment and having, products that are good for the environment. So we try the best we can. Yeah.
I love that. Well, is there anything that listeners should keep an eye out for at Chronic Tacos? Anything coming up or anything you want to shout out?
We're always doing stuff, and we're coming to a city near you. So watch.
Yeah.
Next year in 25, we're growing heavy, and we want to, start opening up a lot of stores in the Midwest and really bring the California vibe to other states.
So cool. Well, we're coming to the end of our time, but before I let you go, I have 3 final questions for you that we call the Thoughtful 3. So first of all, what moments in your career have had the most significant impact on who you are today?
Wow. Well, opening up my first taco shop was huge. It was an amazing thing. And I wouldn't be where I'm at without Chronic Tacos. I don't know what I would be doing. And Tacos has opened up doors and we have so many employees and lives and families, and we have hundreds and hundreds of employees, and it's so cool that's another big thing, making people happy and enjoying food, but supply jobs, families that work. We've got people that have worked for us 20 years doing tacos, and that's really hits home for me is being able to provide and bring this to the communities and to the families and have people in our business in Chronic Tacos that have been with us for so long. And I always think that shows a lot on our end and how we take care of our family with, everyone, our employees. And that brings a lot of joy to me and has, kind of steered me this way is what we can give back to employees, community. But it's a good feeling.
I remember the 11th Street one for years after school. I would go there and it was always the same. It was like a woman and a man that would always work there. And I loved getting to see them. They were always so friendly, felt like such a community.
Yeah, it's really cool. I love that. I love it. People are like, I've been going there since I was in elementary school. I'm well, don't age me.
Yeah, right. I love it. Well, what is one habit or routine that you feel has helped you become successful in your career?
Habit or routine. I get up really early and
how early?
5:30.
Oh yeah, wow.
It's kind of weird. And the older I get, the earlier I wake up. But I get up and I like to put down what I'm doing for the day. Have tasks and goals and not overwhelm yourself. It's also balance is really important. You can get sucked into working 24/7 and when I was younger, that was, I that's all I did. And I didn't, feel the balance. I think, now doing this for so long, you got to have balance. You got to go have fun. You have to enjoy it, but you still get your job done and make sure you're there for everybody. But I think that balance is actually really a key in any business and entrepreneurship is knowing, hey, you know what, you got to turn your phone off for a little bit, and take a breather and go spend time with your family. That's
definitely key. And then lastly, what advice would you give to someone who is dreaming of starting a restaurant business?
Talk to somebody, talk to people that are in the business, get a mentor. I think that mentorship is so important in especially in restaurants. 98% of restaurants fail. So, it's finding a restaurant that's proven, whether you franchise or start your own. But I always say, get a mentor, ask all the questions, have somebody help you go through all the red tape and how it works to get licenses and permits and locations and negotiations. And so I always say mentorship, find somebody that's been around the block and knows what they're doing, and decide if this is for you. Anytime you start a business, it's never easy. Anything you do is hard. So, restaurants, it's important that you understand the dynamics of a restaurant and what's behind the scenes. So you know that you're fully committed, because you have to be 110% to own a restaurant.
Yeah, 98% of restaurants. That's such a daunting number.
Right.
Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for doing this. I had so much fun getting to talk with you. I'm such a fan of your business. So this is awesome.
All right. Thank you so much. I'm stoked to be on.